Your body keeps the score, and it's keeping it in your hips.
Tired of feeling stuck, unseen, or like your body isn't yours anymore? It's time for a reset. Welcome to An Ageless Life, the Midlife Reset Show, where science, movement, and mindset help you feel strong, energized, and like yourself. I'm Devi, a clinical pharmacist, Argentine tango dancer and instructor, and your guide for redefining how women thrive and grow in midlife and beyond. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Devi. Welcome to Midlife Reset. If your lower back feels tight, your balance feels off, or your body feels stuck, it's probably not your back. This is episode 46. We are in phase 2 of the daily shift, Tango Inspired, a 5-phase movement built from Argentine tango and what it taught me and how the body actually comes alive. And today we're talking about your hips, not in a woo-woo way, in a very practical, this is actually what is happening in your body way. Victoria sat for 8 hours, maybe even 10 a day. When she came to me, she couldn't complete a tango turn. She felt off balance, she was always a beat behind, and her hips were frozen. Slowly, we started working together, carefully, and something interesting happened. As her hips began to release and become a little more flexible, she said something that I've heard more times than I can count. I feel like I've been stuck in other areas of my life too, and that's starting to shift. Her walking changed, not just in tango, everywhere. And then she told me something that stopped me. Her pelvic floor had changed. She could cough without worrying. She could laugh without having to cross her legs first. Her hips weren't just tight, they were in lockdown, and her whole system was in lockdown too. What nobody tells you is your lower back stiffness is often not just a back problem. And let me explain a little bit of what's going on. You sit for hours, and most of the women I work with, you adapt. Some muscles get tight, chronically tight. And when muscles get that tight, they become a bully. They take over. They don't let the muscles that are around them do their job. So those muscles stop tiring and they get weak. Your pelvic floor, your glutes, the muscles that are supposed to support and stabilize you, keep you upright and moving freely, they get quiet. Not because anything is wrong with them, but because the bully won't let them work. And meanwhile, that deeper muscle running up from your spine down into your legs keeps gripping and holding. For my techie friends, this muscle is called the psoas. For everyone else, just know this. One tight muscle can take down the whole neighborhood. It's deeply connected to your nervous system, so that when it stays tight for a long period of time, your body starts behaving like it's under low-level stress. Every hour you spend sitting without moving sends a signal. You're not safe to move. Hold everything still. And your body listens. It holds the hips. It grips the pelvic floor. It locks the lower back. And over time, and believe me, this is not just overnight, that holding becomes normal. Victoria wasn't lazy. She wasn't weak. She was being managed, not restored. And here's the part that surprised her most. She'd been ignoring her body for years, not out of neglect, but out of necessity. She sat for long stretches at her desk, back-to-back meetings, not getting up when her body asked her to, not even when she needed to go to the bathroom. She trained herself not to listen, and her body responded by tightening things. And by tightening those things, other things were not allowed to work. She was protecting, bracing. That's what chronic tightness in this area actually does. It's not weakness. It's your body's very efficient response to being ignored. That holding in your hip area, that's what your schedule did because you had never had time to process. In tango, we feel this immediately. Everything flows through the hips. Every movement passes through them, down to the ground and up through the body. They're where your body organizes movement. When someone walks onto the floor with frozen hips, I can feel it within at max the first 3 steps. The movement stops at the waist. Everything tries to compensate. The steps become more rigid. The turns are hesitant. Your body's working twice as hard to do half as much. That's what Victoria felt. Off balance, behind the beat, working hard and going nowhere. And that's what's also true outside of tango. When the hips stop moving, you don't just look stuck, you feel stuck. She didn't just feel stuck in her turns, she felt stuck everywhere. In decisions she'd been avoiding, in conversations she'd been deferring, in the life she kept saying, I'll get to that later. Her body was telling her something her mind hadn't caught up with yet. Aging doesn't make you smaller or weaker. Stillness does. So what changed? Not overnight. Gradual, consistent, real. When she started to move her hips intentionally, her range of motion increased. Her nervous system got a new signal. Safe to move, safe to release, safe to listen. Her walking changed first, then her balance. Her pelvic floor, that was a little more tricky because it had been turned off for so long. She had to do something in order to work through that. And as the physical holding eased, something else shifted too. She started listening again. Not dramatically, but practically. She took breaks. She moved between meetings. She stopped treating her body like an inconvenience and started treating it like it had information to share. That's what hip mobility restores, not just the range of motion, the conversation between your body and your brain. When that conversation is open, everything changes. Now I want you to feel this right now where you are. Sitting or even standing, make gentle circles with your hip, like you're drawing a circle on the ground with your pelvis. Slow, easy, no forcing. This is your baseline. This is where you start. And this is about just noticing. Does it feel smoother one direction versus the other? Is one side tighter? Do you feel hesitation anywhere? We're not fixing anything here. We're observing. Let your body give you information without needing to label it good or bad. It's data. It's awareness. See what you notice. And here's what I want you to take from this. Your hips are not just hips. They record everything that you've been asking of it, but you haven't been processing. Every long meeting, every time you push through, every time you ignored the signal, it's there. Not permanently, not as a fate, but it does need to move out. It's not a metaphor. This is physiology. And the good news is your body is incredibly willing to change when it's given the chance. Victoria's body wasn't broken. It was waiting for permission. Yours is too. The question is, are you giving it any? If you recognize yourself in this, then don't just nod. Move on. Go to An Ageless Life and book a call. We'll figure out what your body has been trying to tell you and what to do about it. Bring your questions, bring your story. You'll find your next move. We will find your next move. Next episode, we move into phase 3. We're going up the spine. That's it for today. If you've enjoyed this, please share it with someone who you think would benefit. Bye for now.
That's it for this reset. Thank you for spending this time with me. If today's episode gave you something to think about, I'd love to have you subscribe so you never miss what's next. And remember to grab your free gift, your midlife superpower, 5 simple power moves to feel like yourself again. The address for this link is anagelesslife.com/superpower. Thanks again. Bye-bye.